Darren, after all the emotion and drama of Portrush, we're now back at a venue that obviously has very special memories for you. How does it feel coming into this week?
Yes, obviously, great to come back to. It's great to go back to any tournament, any golf course where you've played well on before, and especially won. But then to come back to an open venue where I've played well on and won before is even more special. So, golf course is different this week. Wind direction is the opposite of what it was the last time we were here. Golf course is a little bit softer than the last time we were here, so a bit of a different proposition. There won't be so much chasing the balls into the greens, more flying them in there. So, different golf course.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you, Darren. And if you can raise your hand, we'll take some questions from the floor now. We'll start in the middle here, please.
Hi, Darren. Thanks for doing this. Even though it's 10 years ago, because the tournament hasn't been held at Royal St George's since, is there almost an element of you're defending here this week?
No, I wouldn't say it's 10 years is a long time. Lots of opens have come and gone, but obviously I was the last winner here at Royal St George's, so to come back, as the guy who won it the last time is still it's a huge privilege. My name, all I ever wanted to do from a young kid when I was going and practicing was to get my name on the claret jug, and I was able to do that here. So this is always going to be very special to me.
Okay, next question in the back, please.
Hi, Darren. Thanks for talking to us. I followed you a bit today. You looked like you were really enjoying yourself.
Yeah, we were having a laugh, having a bit of fun.
Rory giving you a bit of advice, I saw, with the irons. Are you giving him any advice on how to handle himself around? He's not struggled. He's won tournaments, obviously, yes, but he hasn't won a major for a while.
Yeah. Well, we're both because I haven't been back in the UK since November 2019. So I haven't, for playing schedule and obviously COVID, everything that was going on. So I haven't been able to spend any time with Pete Cowan, and I was able to see him this week. And Rory, as you know, was working with Pete as well. So that's what we were discussing out there. So, and any time you get a chance to play with Rory, I really enjoy it. I've known Rory since he's been a very young kid, coming through my foundation, playing with him and stuff, and then to see him develop into the man that he's become and the golfer he's become has been wonderful. So when you get an opportunity to play with him, we did the same thing 10 years ago here on the Wednesday morning, and we did it again today. So it's great to get out there and spend a bit of time with him. And he's working away on things, and as you say, it's been a while since he's won one, but he's unquestionably got the talent to win many more of them. And it's just a case of, I think, things clicking in place for him. I know he's working diligently and doing a lot of work with Pete to try and hit the ball the way he wants to hit the golf ball. So this week there's going to be a premium on keeping it on the fairways, as you can see out there. That long stuff is really long and thick this week. So we'll see. He's working really hard. He hit some great shots today. He had a couple of maybe ones he didn't want to hit, but that's part if you're working and doing it. And today is the day to do it. Today is the day where maybe you'll hit a driver here that you won't hit tomorrow, or maybe over the weekend. So I think he was doing that today as well. So we will see. But there's no questioning his talent. I think he's one of the most, if not the most, naturally gifted player in the world. So it's only a matter of time before he starts winning again.
And next question back left, please.
Just looking back again to 2011, Darren, can you remember your mindset coming into the tournament? And do you think that Royal St George is a course for outsiders?
My mindset coming into the tournament, I played really well the week before. We were in Castle Stuart playing the Scottish Open, and I played really well the first couple of days. I think we had one day washed out, or so. I think I might have been back down to a 3-round tournament. And then my last round, I didn't play particularly well, nor did I putt very well. So my mindset coming here was more frustration than anything else. And for the people that know me, that's a pretty common thing. Was a common thing with me. And it was the same. My ball striking was really, really good here, and I spent a little bit of time with Dr. Bob Rotella on the putting green on the Wednesday prior to the tournament, and he cleared my head, because if things aren't quite going well, I tend to go back into technique, and that's not always the solution to scoring. And Dr. Bob cleared my head a little bit, and I found a little bit of rhythm and a little bit of feel with my putting stroke, and then all of a sudden it became a much easier game again. And that week, my whole attitude that week changed when I thought I could hold a couple of putts. I was very relaxed. I didn't look at the leaderboard on Sunday until I walked off the 16th green, which was a nice thing to look at when you got a 4-shot lead. I didn't know that at the time, but, I was just trying to do the best that I could possibly do that day. And, my whole mindset was very accepting, because this golf course, you can hit really good shots, but because of the undulation, like any links, but here maybe a little bit more, especially if it's firm and fast, you can get some funky bounces, should we say. That's part of playing links, but here sometimes it can get a little bit worse. And I was very prepared to accept it that way. And in terms of outsiders, Royal St. George's has produced some of the greatest winners, some of the greatest players, and there's been a few surprises. In terms of myself, I've been up there with numerous chances to win majors, all the different majors, and didn't quite manage to do it. But at 42, would I have been somebody who would have thought would have had a chance? Not particularly. But I'd won a month before we came here in Spain, so I knew I was playing well. And, it was my years of experience, I guess, helped me during the week. And I was ready to, step across the line and win the biggest tournament, that biggest and best tournament in the world, and the one that I always wanted to win.
And next question in the front, please.
Hi, Darren. I just wondered, is there any advice you have given or could give to Rory about dealing with the understandable growing frustration that the longer you go waiting for a major, the more you get, so determined to do it, it might get a bit more frustrating? Yeah,
well, that's understandable, but, who am I to give Rory McIlroy suggestions on what I should be and shouldn't be doing? The guy with that amount of talent, he's one of the best players in the world, and I've been fortunate to play with a lot of them: Ernie Els, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Rory, all the greatest players in the world. So it would be a little bit ahead of myself if I was to try to give him advice. But in saying that, I have been frustrated for the majority of my career. I'm frustrated. So, at the end of the day, you just got to believe in your own ability and believe in your own talent and trust that it's going to happen. And that's the bottom line.
But sometimes a voice, from a different angle
can, of course,
it could be the simplest thing from the oddest source that
of course,
makes the penny drop.
Yeah, exactly. But he's been doing a little bit of work with Bob Rotella recently as well. So any stuff that I'd probably be saying to him would be coming from Bob Rotella as well. So it'd be the same sort of thing. But, it's a fine line, professional golf, between the amount you do in technique and the amount you do on the mental side of it. And everybody here this week that's playing is obviously, technique-wise, they're incredible players, otherwise they wouldn't be here. The mentally strong are the ones that usually come out on top at the end of the week. And if you have the right mindset, then you allow yourself to perform. And I think Rory has been working really hard on that aspect as well. Believe me, I spoke to Rory many times today when we were out playing, and his desire is incredible. He still wants to win major tournaments. He wants to perform, and he wants to play well. And if I was him with his amount of talent, hell yes, I'd be frustrated with not winning tournaments. But with that being said, as I just said there now, the flip side of that is, because the talent that he does have, is only a question of time before he starts winning again.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to try and take some questions from Zoom, and then we'll try and get back to them if we can. So, Liv, I'll hand over to you at this point.
Thanks, Mike. And our first question is from Andy Redfern, please.
Hi, Darren. It's always great to see you at the Open. Just one thing you mentioned there about coronavirus and it's really affecting. What does it affect yourselves in terms of your preparation for this tournament from a player's point of view? We all know how it affects us on a day-to-day lives.
It hasn't really affected me that much, because on the Champions Tour over in America, where I've been playing the majority of my golf, it's almost like they're over coronavirus or COVID over there. It's things have opened up a lot more, and I've been practicing, working really, really hard. With that being said, to come back over here and play links, I haven't been home since November 2019, so I haven't played any links golf. This is my first time back to it. Down in the Bahamas, where I live now and spend most of my time, it is very windy, but the turf is different down there at the Abaco Club. So to get back and get a little bit of preparation, in the first couple of days, I've been trying to reacquaint myself with playing links golf. Again, the golf course is a little bit softer, so some of the shots that I played in 2011, trying to run the ball and chase the ball into the greens, are not really an option so far this week, because they've had some heavy rain. So we will see if the course dries out a little bit more. And then hopefully some of that growing up playing link stuff is all going to come back to me, and hopefully I'll have another good week.
And our next question is from Ronan McNamara, please.
Hi, Darren. Just as a former Ryder Cup captain, I was wondering, is there anything that maybe you would do to deal with the Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka feud?
Oh, I could really drop myself in it here with that one. No, I think that's for Captain Stricker to sort out over there. I think the two of them are two of the obviously the best players in the world, and I think when it comes to Ryder Cup week, I think they'll put their differences aside and come together for the benefit of their team. You know, as a former Ryder Cup captain and a European through and through, if they were to keep this little thing going, that would be very positive for possibly positive for the European team. But I'm sure Mr. Stricker will ask them to leave whatever differences are, leave them outside the team room come Monday when they all get together, and if they want to pick it up again on the Monday when they leave, then c'est la vie. But I'm sure he will have a plan to deal with it.
Thank you. And our next question is from Brian Keogh.
Yeah, hi, Darren.
Hey, Brian.
Just you mentioned, good, thanks. You worked with Bob Rotella, obviously, before your win in 2011. Rory's now working with Bob Rotella. I'm just wondering what you think that might do for Rory in terms of maybe winning more majors, how it might help him. And on a related matter, you know, given the Rotella connection, how shocked would you be to see Padraig Harrington 6 weeks before he turns 50 winning a third Open?
Well, Dr. Bob with Rory, Dr. Bob talks a lot of sense. There's no mystical stuff in there. He talks a lot of sense, but because of the nature of our sport, sometimes sense gets thrown out the window. We don't actually think the right way, and getting ahead of ourselves and thinking about outcome instead of staying in the process and hitting balls. You've heard this cliches, but really that's what it's all about. And as you know, Brian, we all know in here, Rory is so gifted and talented that, you know, if it's just one little thing that clicks in his head, and it works for him, and he gets out there and he frees up and goes to play. You know, he tried to do it at the US Open for a while. I think that was his words, wasn't it? He said he was trying to free things up and go and play. And he was doing great until Sunday on the 11th, whenever I think he three-whacked at par 3. Was the 11th he three-putted? And, you know, his mindset, he was a lot freer there. And let's hope it's the same Rory McIlroy that's here this week and frees up and keeps on doing it. In terms of Padraig, I think you take a look at Padraig. I saw yesterday he was up there in the driving distance to keep track of stuff on the range. And with his recent play, you know, it was very impressive. Look at how Padraig played at Kiwa Island. I mean, he played really, really well there, along with Shane Lowry. But Padraig has the experience. If you were to pick any tournament in the world where possibly an older guy could maybe take on the young guns a little bit more, a Links and an Open Championship would probably be the one, because I think it's the tournament which tests you the most, both mentally, more mentally than anything, and a little bit of experience, a little bit of guile helps you, and there's not many more people that have more of that than Padraig Harrington.
That's all our questions from Zoom, so I will pass you back to Mike.
Okay, well, time for one final question then. John at the back, please.
Hello, Hoppy.
Is this your favourite course? Open course?
This golf course offers me one of the best memories I've ever had in the game of golf. Now, would I prefer to play Royal Portrush every day or Royal St George's every day? I'd play Royal Portrush every day. Would I prefer to play St Andrews or Royal St George's? I'd play St Andrews every day. It may not be my favourite golf course, but this golf course has been very, very good to me. This is almost as tough a golf course as we play on the Open Rota. Carnoustie, when it was set up the year Paul Lawrie won, that was absolutely brutal, but Royal St George's is as tough a test as we play. The other open venues, I think, give you more opportunities to score than what Royal St George's does. I think Royal St George, you know, when I was out playing the past 3 days and going around the golf course, I was thinking, how did I ever win here? It was one of those, the course was playing that difficult in the breeze. But I did. So this will always be one of my favourite golf courses.